So yeah, this is gonna be a thing now. Apparently I can't go a couple of reviews without reviewing a damn Glock. A Glock clone. Or even an officially licensed Glock. I understand now I've got no issue with the pistol itself. I think it's a fine handgun. I think it's an okay handgun. It's the damn fandom that I have an issue with. People who claim that the Glock is a perfect handgun, even though the damn thing, when covered in mud, cannot be disassembled, nor safely unarmed. Even though they claim it's a perfect handgun, even though the damn thing you bling out with $10,000 worth of aftermarket parts. Although nowadays it'd probably be up to $20,000 worth of aftermarket parts due to price increase and inflation and all that other good jazz. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're wondering why I'm not exactly as enthusiastic as I should be, simply put, we're taking a look at Plan Beta. No, not the beta from Muv-Luv, a fucking messed up Groundhog Day worth of bullshit. No. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about, well, this Plan Beta. But before I get into this, let me go ahead and give my bit of history with it. Plan Beta I actually reviewed one time a long time ago, reviewing their 1911 Springer that I got from Dollar General for about 15 bucks when Dollar General actually sold an airsoft gun. Rare as can be, I know, and something that you never expect. So, yeah, I bought it, reviewed it, I liked it, and now I'm reviewing this. And you're thinking, this can't be that bad. Well, aside, of course, from this little bit right there.
I think George Lucas gonna sue somebody.
Yeah. Not gonna say there's gonna be lawsuits, but, they're really called Predator. You got the... No. I just want to get through this as quick as possible. So basically the box itself is your standard Plan Beta glossy box. It also shows the other options you have, which of course, for me, I have black. And of course you got Black Storm, which is a cream-colored, or tan-colored type slide. You got Black Frost, which is basically a chrome color, or white. And you got Black Ice, which is a blue.
What is that? What is that? What is that? What is that? Is that fun? Is that what I think it? Is that what I think it is? Is that fucking blue?
Yes, you heard correctly. Blue.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's fucking shiny blue. Oh, well, fucking that is... Oh, that's great now, isn't it? Oh, well, good for you. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, God, it's everything so different, Joe. But, Joe, it's shiny blue. What is that, fucking blue? You want me to pay you, what, $50 for fucking shiny blue?
I will never get tired of the Angry Joe clips. I really won't. But, ladies and gentlemen, let's just go ahead, open this thing up, and basically talk about the thing that's inside of it, shall we? So unlike other non-blowback pistols, which yes, non-blowback, there is no visible safety on the slide. It's on the actual body itself. Instead, the safety is within the trigger, which I will admit is definitely interesting, intuitive. It has a nice Glock silhouette, although I know many people will say, but it's not a Glock. Well, Sonny Jim, you see that star right there? See that star right there? That's a Norinco star, meaning that this is based off a Norinco Glock, meaning that it is a Norinco Glock clone, meaning that we have a clone of a clone of a clone. And for those of you who don't know what Norinco is, Norinco, for my fellow 90s kids, or fellow 80s kids, or those who were born back before the assault weapon ban, Norinco was a company that was very famous for many of us down here in the South for basically making $100 SKSs and basically bringing in a lot of AKs that we wouldn't have gotten because of the certain import ban. So basically Norinco is a company nowadays known for just cloning damn near everything, or being famous for basically the Type 95, Type 96, or my bad, not 96, 97, and of course now the Type 191, which is the PLA's newest assault rifle. More or less, until they decide to just upgrade again. But basically, this is a Norinco Glock. Get it? Got it? Good. Moving on. So, you got the Predator target there, and you're probably wondering, are there any really any features of this thing. Well, there is one that I find hilarious. If you don't like the slide you got on here, you don't want any sights or anything, and you want to be a little speedy boy, well, what you do is you lift up and you push off, and there you go. You got nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's just a big chunk of metal. And the best part is that with this now, you can basically open this up, which I might do a takedown video on this, because honestly, I am very curious to see how this is all set up, because again, it's one of those things of, yeah, that trigger pull is definitely something else entirely, but basically, if you want to change out the slide to, say, a 3D printed one or something else of that nature, bada bing, bada boom, right there. Get it, got it, good. I do not know how to feel about that trigger pull. Like, let me just ghost this for you guys. So, here we go. Going. It's not terrible, but not great at the same time. It's not a double action revolver type trigger, which is heavy. It's a weird little in between of. It's just weird, is what it is. What I'm trying to say. It's weird. It's weird feeling. It just doesn't feel good as a non-blowback trigger. But either way, though, we have, of course, a protruding mag release here, which. Oh, this is interesting. So we got a non-blowback magazine here that you'd see in a lot of non-blowbacks, but it's got this weird coating about it, and it looks like it's bigger than a regular non-blowback. Spring's different too, follower's different. I am just... Give me a second, I'm gonna get a magazine real quick. Okay, so right here we have, of course, the non-blowback Umarex version of the Enforcer, or a, M&P Shield, or whatever non-Glock type deal that Smith & Wesson basically has. This thing is mine, I've had for years, that I've just not used in a long time. I should probably use this. More. Anyway, setting that to the side here, I kind of want to see if this magazine, which is a standard non-blowback magazine, which is not coated, doesn't have anything special about it, and made in Taiwan, will work in a Norinco Glock, made in China clone. Okay. Let's try again. Gonna try and hammer it in. Okay, we're gonna try and just hammer it in with the other magazine now. Let's just... Because I want to see if it'll go in there, damn it. Did it go in? Is it all the way in? Is it locked in? Nope. I'm curious if this if the magazine it has will actually work with the Umarex one. So let's see if that actually works. Will it work with this one? And yes, it does actually. Well, the magazine from there doesn't work in there. It works just fine with this. That's actually okay. So yeah, that's a thing. So yeah, cross compatibility with other magazines unless you buy more of these specific ones, which yes, Evike does have it at. Which, by the way, $50 for this thing. Unless of course you get it on sale, then it's $43, or elsewhere it's around the $50 price tag. Others I've seen go for an outrageous $80, which is, yeah, it's kind of expensive. But aside from that, you also get a nice bit of Picatinny rail here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 slots for whatever attachment you want for it. I probably won't put any attachments on this thing, and again, it's a interesting... Anyway, so you're probably asking, where does the CO2 go? Well, that's actually kind of an interesting design, because the CO2 actually goes right there. They decided to not do the whole, hey, let's just open up the back thing and do a little screw thing. No, they're basically deciding, let's just go with that. And honestly, that is probably the smartest damn design choice they went with of this entire fucking thing. let's get some CO2 and some .2s in here and see what kind of FPS we're getting at, shall we? Alright, so I've got the CO2. Gonna place it right there. I've got, of course, some lube in there, just in case. The other thing that I want to kind of point out is that the actual thing itself is polymer. Through and through is polymer, so yeah. Kind of interesting to see how this turns out. But hey, you know, it's just one of those things. So we're just gonna kind of see how things go. Twisting in there. Yep, I've already heard the spout. There's a leak. There is a fucking leak. Oh, well, might as well go ahead and get that first spout out of there. Get the FPS test in joules. Let's go ahead and do that. So, first spout of CO2 in joules. 400 FPS, 1.48 joules. 391, 1.42 joules. 391 FPS, 1.42 joules. Using 0.2 Bulldog BBs, by the way. 321, 0.96 joules. 378, 1.33 joules. 446, 1.84 joules. 374, 1.30 joules. 132, 377 joules. Or 377 FPS, I mean, Jesus Christ. And we've got an issue already. Oh boy. We have an issue. We already got a malfunction. We got a malfunction. There we go. Okay, so that happened. We had a it just would not fire. We had a failure to fire. Last BB 362, 1.21 joule. Yeah, that was a thing. That thing just did not want to fire until I took out the magazine. So that was a... Is the thing still leaking? I don't think it's leaking, but we're going to have to wait and see if it'll not leak until we get outside. So, yeah, that's... Even then, I'm a little bit wary of whether or not this thing actually will still hold CO2 by the time we got outside to do the distance test, or whether or not we'll just do a groupings test, because again, it's pistol, but, you know, one of those things. So, yeah, why don't we do both? A groupings test and, well, not really a groupings test, but you get what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to see how this thing performs, so, yeah. Let's get outside and do that, shall we? Alright, we're outside now, and of course we have the Predator target. I've got to load up with Elite, well not Elite Force, but Evike 0.25 Bio BBs. Now I usually do these tests with 0.2s, but I've been asked to, a lot of times in the comments section, to basically do this with 0.25s. So we're going to see what the trajectory is from this, and whether or not this thing can hit the broadside of a barn. We did have that malfunction in the FPS test and joules test, so I'm a little curious if we're going to get the same kind of malfunction or if that's just a fluke or not, and of course user error. So let's go ahead and see if this thing hit the broadside of a barn at a pretty good distance of about 70 or so feet away. So we're just going to take aim at the barn and see if we can hit it. Aiming at the broadside. Not even. That sucker dropped. With 0.25s, it dropped at least 10 feet away. So with 0.25s, that's about effective feet of about 60 or so feet. But that's not what you're trying to use the pistol for. No, what you're trying to use the pistol for is trying to hit targets effectively and quickly as possible. So I'm going to set up some popper targets, the Evike can targets, and see if I can hit them at about pistol engagement distance as quickly and effectively as possible. So let's go see if we can draw that. Got some popper targets set up on the barrel there, and mostly it's going to be basically just me trying to hit those targets as effectively as possible. So safety off, and of course in my pocket, because most of the time a lot of us will, going out on the field, we'll either have the gun off safety, we'll have the pistols off safety in the holster, or we'll have it to where we are able to quickly take it off safety. So this one I'm going to keep it off safety, meaning that the gun is ready to fire. I know it's airsoft, but a lot of times, much like everyone, we do treat airsoft guns as actual firearms. It's a great training method and a great way to kind of keep that repetition and, of course, the basic firearm safety, you know, just muscle memory of firearm safety. You can, those who understand what I'm saying can say it better in the comments section than I could. So let's see how quickly and effective I can actually take down these targets. And go. So something I noticed is that the barrel itself does not line up with the iron sights. What I mean by this is that, let's see if I can line this up with the camera. More or less, when I'm aiming the sights themselves, the BB actually goes above right here. This is where the BB's shooting. Granted, this is .25s, not .20s. So I have to literally aim down a little bit with the iron sights to actually hit with the target. Granted, these are BBs, they're not going that fast, so you could try and do it with basically like the beat of your eye, or just try to trace where the BBs are going with your eye movement. But a lot of times, a lot of gas bullet pistols do actually line up with the iron sights. A lot of the time, not most of the time. So a lot of times it's basically just quick reaction of just pulling up and firing. Now, of course, that was the broadside of a barn, big target, you're not going to miss it. But when you have a pauper target, that's just how it is. Now, something I want to kind of talk about the magazine itself. The magazine is single stack, not double stack like most stick-type magazines. And by double stack, I mean simply the fact of they zigzag down the way and have double the magazine capacity because of that. This, on the other hand, does not. It's a single feed, single stack, stick-type magazine. And we're out. Just want to make sure. But yeah, so the way it's designed, not exactly great for capacity. Granted, never really did count how many BBs there are, but you get what I'm saying. Anyway, at least it handles like a pistol, it works like a pistol, so let's get back inside and give the final verdict, shall we? With the shooting test, and of course, everything of that nature, what are my final thoughts on the Predator target? Well, aside, of course, from the fact of you only got the one side of it, not both sides, but you know what, that's whatever. That's whatever. The Predator target, while yes, being an affordable pistol at about $50-ish range, there are some things that keep this from being actually an interesting handgun for a viable sidearm for beginning airsofters. Number one is the fact of it cannot use the actual stick mags that other non-blowbacks actually use. It uses its own proprietary one, although the proprietary one actually works with the other non-blowbacks. That's definitely interesting to say the least. The other bit, of course, was that malfunction that happened. And this is something that is a biggie in airsoft. Malfunctions are no joke, and especially in the real steel world, a malfunction could mean anything from your gun going down to even just outright destroying it or injuring you. Again, the biggest extreme would be Kentucky Ballistics, 50 going off. So, while I will admit that, yes, it's an interesting little Glock clone, especially the fact that it's replicating a Norinco Glock clone, I will admit that unless you're doing a PLA impression, this is not for you. And even then, there are other handguns out there that would probably do better for your PLA impression kit. The other thing, though, is that, once again, that magazine and the malfunction I got is something that is going to kind of hinder the score. So, with all that in mind, the final verdict for the planned beta Predator target, possibly getting a lawsuit from Fox or Disney, whichever one you want to go with, who owns the Predator franchise now, is no more, no less than a 8 out of 10. It's a good buy. If you're looking for something to get as a cheap starter pistol that you're only going to rarely use, have lightweight, it's not really that heavy, and just have a quote-unquote Glock on your kit, then this is definitely something to look into. If you want something that's actually a little bit more better and can be used in a pistol caliber kit that is released by Umarex, of course, then I would recommend you take a look at the Umarex non-blowbacks and actually look at those as viable options. But that's just my thoughts. And, of course, if you guys want to help out with future reviews, then consider checking out the 2 links down below to either the Cash App or the PayPal to donate directly. Or if you want something from the links, that's actually kind of cool, then please check out, of course, Braytech. Braytech makes interesting 9mm blank grenade adapters for Thunder Bees that take your Thunder Bee CO2 grenade and turn into 9mm impact grenades, especially the new V2, which actually has a bottom instead of the V1 that had just an open bottom. This gives you better protection and doesn't damage the core as much when using it, so you can quickly switch it back to, of course, a regular Thunder Bee grenade. Or, if you want something to light up the night and give you something awesome in return, then check out our friends at T238! Hey, do you like tracer units? What am I saying? Of course you do. But you don't want to spend the money on tracer units. They're overcomplicated and don't really give you a clear instruction of how they actually work. Well, here's where this comes into play, because our friends over at T238.net have actually helped work with us to help hook you guys up with not only some great deals, but also even better tracer units. So, be it, of course, from, say, the most cyberpunk of cyberpunk. Or even the most tactical of tactical rifles. T238.net has got what you're looking for. And aside from tracer units, they also make high-powered motors, be they high-speed, high-torque, or even anything in between. For V2s, V3s, they even have trigger units that are easy to install and just do a lot of awesome things. And the best part is, they have components that prevent them from overheating. And it's not just for airsoft. No, they also make it for gel ball and Nerf. Meaning that if your country does not allow you to have the coolness that is airsoft, then at least you have something for Nerf and gel ball. So, go down to the link down below and use the coupon code AirsoftAL and you'll get some awesome stuff. And even better stuff, be they discount codes or, of course, free shipping. But if you use the link down below, then you'll be helping us out here on the channel. So please, go down there to the link down below, use that referral link, and get some really awesome stuff. I mean this, folks. T238 has never steered me wrong, isn't going to steer you wrong. They are simple, easy to use, and easy to understand, and they're reliable. So, what are you waiting for? Go down there right now at T238.net's link down below and use coupon code AirsoftAL and get some good stuff. As always, ladies and gentlemen, I've been AirsoftAL, and next time, we take a look at a gun from the past and see if it's worth the $300 price tag, and of course will be the replacement for the service rifle. And that is one that will make you say, I am the Lorax and I speak for the trees, and for some fucking reason I speak in Vietnamese! Till next time.